Salutations Space Cadets, and thank you so much for landing back on my channel. For today's mission, I have the patch notes for DC Dual Force during August 22nd, 2023. This one was released a little bit early to content creators just so we can get the information out to you as quickly as possible, but will be released officially later on today with the actual patch when it actually goes live. But we do have some cool things going on this time around. There's no balance changes, so if you're here specifically for balance changes, well, you're out of luck. All right, I think the game's already in a good state, so we don't really need that many balance changes, to be honest. But yeah, we have some cool things, some fixes, and some unexpected things that I didn't know were working improperly, but actually are. So it's interesting to know. But first and foremost, as you can see on the screen, the Blue Beetle comic is now out. Now, we don't know for sure if Blue Beetle the card is out here, but I mean, it's a Blue Beetle comic and we usually get a card each time, so I have a feeling we're gonna get at least something Blue Beetle related. So that's pretty cool. That means we're gonna have a new type of card and or leader in the game coming later today, which is absolutely sick, and it is for free for everyone. So if you're broke like me usually, hey, this one's for you. All right, but let's get into some actual little changes. I've highlighted / bolded the ones that are of note, but we'll scroll down and you should still be able to read them on the screen. But yeah, so here's some of the more important ones. So the actions that have random targets can no longer incorrectly target hidden recruits. Now, I didn't know that was like not intended. So things like shoot randomly that has like you choose 3 random targets. Apparently that's not even supposed to hit hidden recruits, which I had no clue about. That was the one that I was talking about. Like, I didn't know this was a bug, but apparently it is, or it's not working as intended. So that's kind of crazy to think about. Also, another thing, I actually recently released a deck featuring the Flash and Shazam. There was a bug / exploit you could do. I never did it, like you saw the video, but you could use Lex Luthor's effect to sacrifice the Flash to draw 2 cards without sacrificing the Flash actually, and you'll stay on board. But now that is removed, and now it will actually sacrifice correctly if you use Lex's effect on the Flash. But I mean, the deck was already going pretty well for me anyway without doing that, so it's no loss off my back. But yeah, also Naomi now create counts towards create and play cards such as Amethyst and Timothy Hunter, which is really good because I don't own Naomi yet, but for the Flash Harley deck, I was considering adding it to the deck once I actually pull it, because you know we already spam a bunch of cards to the board, so if it sticks, it's gonna be a big unit. But before, it didn't really work with things like Amethyst, and I was just like, well, that's weird because it doesn't seem consistent with the other things. But people were kind of saying it wasn't a bug like this intended. I was like, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't work like any of the other ones. So it's good to know that now is fixed. Polymorph can now no longer incorrectly transform a recruit into the same recruit. I don't think I've personally ever had that happen to me before, but I have heard that it has happened to someone else that I know, and that sounds terrible. you polymorph, it's like, okay, I need to get rid of this big giant guard unit that has like a million stats. Oh, transformed into the exact same one. Okay, sounds good. Also, mirror players are kind of rejoicing here. The tidal wave no longer visually disappears on the game board, so you can actually see it. Like you yourself that you play the tidal wave can actually see it, and it now correctly triggers abilities such as Black Adam's ability. That one I didn't know that was happening because I never really played Mirror before, but it's good to know that the tidal waves actually work with Black Adam. So that should be actually a decent buff to Black Adam, because all your whole goal is to play recruits that have 5 or more attack. So now that it actually triggers Black Adam's ability, that Black Adam might be inadvertently buffed right here. Also, for all those people that were trying to play Zatanna and just couldn't play Gifted Naboo, remember I posted the magical assistant or the magician's assistant video literally like yesterday. So now Gifted Naboo actually works along with the deck, so you know you don't have those awkward situations where you would have another opportunity to activate another spell, like something for like Constantine and seek like another free spell, and now you weren't able to, but now It's gonna work. It's gonna work. You're good. And last but not least, the one I really want to talk about is Shazam now correctly turns back into Billy Batson 1KO. Another card I don't actually own, but I really want. But I heard it was kind of unplayable to play because you never got Billy back. So Shazam was dying and then just staying dead. So now he'll be coming back from the dead and turning him back into his more humanly form. And so that's pretty good for all the Shazam players that own it, and I don't. So okay, well. And then I'll just be scrolling through these last general changes. There's nothing of note that that really strikes out, but they're still, you know, it's still nice to have these type of things. You know, deluxe cards earned from a leader pack now have their foil look, and the collection should now count cards you own more correctly. So you'd be like, I'm pretty sure I pulled more of these cards. Well, you actually did. So now it'll show more correctly. And then these are some of the known issues as well. So you can feel free to pause the video and read them over if you want for these various things, these general and known issues. But yeah, that's gonna be all from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you like and comment what do you still want to see in future patch notes, as well as what did you like about these patch notes. There was a card that was fixed that you really wanted to play that is now fixed and is playable? Let me know down in the comments below, and then subscribe for more updates on patch notes, for more meme decks and more sometimes serious decks. But hey, that's gonna be all from me. I'll be blasting off, and I'll see you soon, Space Cadets. That video was pretty good, don't you think? Well, if you do, make sure you like the video and subscribe to see more just like it. But hey, that's gonna be all from me. I'll be blasting off, and I'll see you soon, Space Cadets.